We are here again. We are doing shelf number 15.
I believe that's what we decided.
15, yes. We are in the action-adventure section.
Still. I didn't realize this is how big this section really was.
This and the horror movies are our two biggest.
Yeah, well.
Okay, to start off, we have Payback with Mel Gibson.
Straight up director's cut, which is vastly different from the theatrical cut that was released. I actually like the theatrical cut, but the director's cut is very good too.
A newer movie and one of my new favorites, John Wick.
Yeah, this movie is awesome. Keanu Reeves kicks a lot of ass in this movie.
He does a really good job at it.
And little trivia for you. The guy who directed this movie did the stunt choreograph for the Matrix movie, so they've known each other for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Go back in there. We got The Losers.
Which is kind of a knockoff A-Team movie. I think that's what it was supposed to be. It's not bad.
Badass. It's got Danny Trejo.
Yeah, and it's basically just Danny Trejo being a badass. So.
Badass to badasses.
Yeah. Danny Trejo once again being a badass, and Danny Glover providing comedy. It was good. It wasn't as good as the first one. They did make a third one, but they only released it on DVD. Badasses on the Bayou.
We got The Man with the Iron Fists.
This movie is good for one thing. Watching Russell Crowe is awesome in this movie. The rest of this movie sucks. It's not very good.
Shouldn't this be with the Quentin Tarantino stuff?
Well, it's presented by Quentin Tarantino. He didn't direct or write this movie. He just kind of liked this movie, so he put his name on it to make it a bigger movie.
Oh. Okay. Oh, we got The Island.
I actually really enjoyed this movie, surprisingly. It's a Michael Bay film. I was very much enjoyed it. Check it out. It's actually a good sci-fi movie. It's a little slow to begin with. Instead of being 2-part or 3 parts like most movies, a beginning, a middle, and an end, there's a beginning, and then there's an end. There's no real middle section.
Mm. Dirty Harry.
And Magnum Force. Double pack of Dirty Harry movies, obviously. And 2 more Dirty Harry movies. The Enforcer and Sudden Impact. They released these 4 movies on this double pack about the same time they released the Dirty Harry box set. And there's no difference in the discs. They're exactly the same. The only difference is you don't get Deadpool, which was the last Dirty Harry movie. It wasn't very good. It wasn't very good for a Dirty Harry movie. But Liam Neeson is kind of an asshole horror movie director, which is kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Haywire. This stars Gina Carlo. Is that how you pronounce it?
Gina Carano.
Carano. I think that's how you pronounce it. She's a former MMA fighter. Very good MMA fighter. You've also seen her in Fast and the Furious 6. She was The Rock's partner, sort of.
The one who turned on him?
Yep.
Aha. Okay. One of my favorites is Tom Hanks in The Da Vinci Code.
Mm-hmm. I enjoyed this movie too. I always liked puzzles and games and riddles, and this movie had all those things.
Mm-hmm. And the girl is Audrey Tautou. She is a famous French actress.
Mm-hmm. She was in...
So, works perfectly.
Amélie, the one we had earlier. Way up there before.
Amélie. Actually, if you look her up, she's got quite the acting
Resume.
history.
Yeah. 80s cheese.
Roadhouse.
Patrick
It's
Swayze.
awesome.
Yeah, Patrick Swayze kicks ass. Sam Elliott's awesome. And as a wrestling fan, Terry Funk is in this movie. So
We got From Paris with Love, Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, and John Travolta.
John Travolta is a badass spy in this movie. It's pretty good. It's pretty fun just to watch him be a slightly or insane agent.
Mm.
So I don't know how to describe this 3-pack, but pretty good.
I thought it was like Girls Kick Ass or something like that.
Something like that. Point of No Return and Long Kiss Goodnight, I can vouch for. Domino, not so much. I haven't seen it in a long time.
I've seen it. I liked it. But it was very, very different from anything else that Keira Knightley's done. So...
It's also, did you know it was based on a true story?
Really?
Yes, she was actually a real person who died of an overdose.
I'll have to watch it again.
Yeah. Point of No Return is the American remake of La Femme Nikita, which has been turned into a TV show twice and had so many different versions of the movie made. And Long Kiss Goodnight is Gina Davis is a woman who wakes up with no memory of who she was on the beach and hires a low-rent detective, in this case Samuel L. Jackson, to find out who she was. Turns out she was an assassin. Beforehand, so. Hobo with a shotgun.
I happened to be walking by, got drawn in, and ended up watching the whole movie.
Yeah, this movie is fucking weird. But fun. It's really good. I don't know, the Santa Claus, the guy who looks like Santa Claus, just the bum fights cameraman guy.
It was fun.
Yeah, he was hilarious. I mean, Rutger Hauer was great in that movie.
Hitman.
Which I enjoyed a lot more than most people did. I haven't seen the new one, and I've heard not good things about it. But I enjoyed this movie. I thought Timothy Olyphant did a good job as Agent 47. It was originally supposed to be Vin Diesel, but I guess...
I think Timothy Olyphant did a really good job with it.
My only problem is I've never played the video game. It's like if he's supposed to be an assassin who mixes in, can just mix into a crowd, a bald-headed man with a tattoo on the back of his head, not going to mix in.
Not so much. Should wear a hat more often.
Yeah.
Hard Rain.
Which is a heist movie during a flood. And it's a lot better than it sounds.
Yeah, I watched it and I was surprised at how good it was.
And Morgan Freeman is the bad guy. Sort of.
Yeah.
This
Big
is
Trouble in Little China.
Yeah, John Carpenter's Big Trouble in Little China. I don't know how to describe this movie. This is Kurt Russell is a truck driver who just happens to fall into some kind of ancient feud with magics and demons and mystical stuff. I don't know. It's very John Carpenter. It's very different each time.
And here's something completely different. Taylor Lautner in Abduction. I believe this was just after the Twilight movies.
Yeah, this was like this was going to be his big breakout movie, except the movie sucked. And It was weird. It was very somewhat convoluted and confusing.
Oh, they don't show a picture of her. Anyway, this is, I believe, Lily Collins' first role, or her first big role, and...
She has one eyebrow.
One eyebrow. She got a unibrow in this one that's really, really bad.
Yeah.
National Treasure, another Nicolas Cage movie, and actually the movie is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I like puzzles and riddles and stuff like that, and that's what this movie's all about.
And Sean Bean.
Yeah, and John Bean. John Voight.
Now we have National Treasure 2, Book of Secrets. It wasn't as good as the first one, but it wasn't that bad.
You didn't like this one as much?
Not as much.
I did. I thought it was good. Ed Harris was I guess would be considered the bad guy in this role. Helen Mirren is in it as Nicolas Cage's mom, and she's always awesome.
Actually, weird fact about that, Helen Mirren turned down an audience with the Queen of England to keep shooting this movie.
Yes, that's right. She'd done the movie The Queen, and she had the invitation to meet the Queen and view the movie with her, but was
in the middle of filming this.
So she turned it down. Talking about some serious balls.
I wonder if she ever got
actually had a meeting with her? I don't know.
Maybe reschedule? I don't know. Another Nicolas Cage movie, Gone in 60 Seconds. This was a very, very good one.
The only thing that I didn't like was the CGI jump at the end. And Angelina Jolie with blonde hair does not look right.
Yeah, no. That's kind of wrong.
Mm-hmm.
She did it in one other movie and it was still wrong. And we got Face Off. John Travolta and Nicolas Cage.
Mm-hmm.
These two did a very, very good job of playing each other in different bodies.
Yeah. John Travolta trying to act like Nick Cage crazy was pretty good. And it's directed by John Woo, one of the best action directors in the 80s, 90s. So,
if you can't tell, we're in the Nick Cage section.
yeah.
There's Con Air.
Nick Cage with a mullet. It's awesome.
We got Season of the Witch.
Which is weird because Nicolas Cage is on the cover and the whole thing, and right under the title, if you look, is Ron Perlman. I love Ron Perlman, and he deserves a lot more credit than that. In this movie. I actually enjoyed this movie a lot more than I thought I was going to, but it's not a great.
It's not a great movie, but it's good.
It's good enough. Now this is a great movie. The Rock, Nick Cage is a kind of a bookwormy scientist guy, and Sean Connery as a badass. Basically, he'd be James Bond if he actually got caught. So, you're not getting over here, cat. Beat it.
Moving out of the Nick Cage section.
We have SWAT. This is not a great movie, but it's not a bad movie just to pass some time. I really don't know how to describe it after that. Dead Man Down. This is actually directed by the original director of I believe they're called the Millennium movies. The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. The original movies, not the current ones that are out right now, or the current one that's out right now. I haven't seen all of this movie, but what I have seen, I enjoyed. A lot of people really didn't like this movie, but I did.
Chain Reaction. Actually, I really like this movie. It shows Keanu Reeves and Morgan Freeman on the front, but it also has Rachel Weisz, who does a lot of work with Keanu Reeves in the movie, and then Morgan Freeman is kind of the overarching bad guy of the movie.
But he's not.
He's not a bad guy. He's just...
Yeah, he's...
more like an adversary.
Yeah, adversary, more, definitely the right wording for that. And then the classic Point Break.
Now this is what Point Break should be.
Mm-hmm. This movie is awesome from beginning to end.
Hello, Bentley.
Patrick Swayze and Keanu Reeves do a great job. And I have no plans on seeing the remake because I've seen the commercials and it looks like an absolutely giant pile of dog shit.
We might watch it once, but we'll leave that for future.
I think I will not, out of sheer protest for them making a remaking classic. Well, excuse you. Keep going. Sorry.
Just checking out the camera.
Get out of here. You too. God, you guys are assholes.
And we got Speed.
Yep. I watched this movie in school.
It's fun.
Yeah, it was fun. But we watched it in driver's ed as an educational movie. Why not to Speed?
Yeah, don't do this. And then Proof that getting older does not make you less of a badass.
Yeah, Red. Red was a lot of fun.
I liked all of the actors. I liked the storyline.
It was how an action comedy movie could be done, and it was well done. Mm-hmm. Bruce Willis, Morgan Freeman, Helen Mirren, John Malkovich. There's more in there.
So many more.
One of the last roles of what's his name? He was the caretaker or the record keeper in this movie.
Oh.
Ernest Borgnine.
Oh, and it's got Carl Urban in it.
Yes, it does. Yes,
I like him. Mm-hmm. And we got Red 2. This one wasn't nearly as good.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. It was kind of fun to watch Anthony Hopkins play an insane guy, but it was fun. I mean, but no, it was definitely not as good as the original at all. I think I've only watched it once.
Yeah. I wish that... because they had a lot of big names come out for it, that the plot would have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have... If I can get it out, quit sticking to everything.
Other side.
I'm going to say that's not it.
Yeah. this is the Die Hard box set. It has the first 4 movies in it. Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Harder, and Die Hard with a Vengeance, and Live Free or Die Hard. Which, those are all decent movies. Well, I mean, the first one is a classic Christmas movie. I actually enjoyed the second one a little bit better. And the third one's okay. Fourth one's Justin Long gets annoying.
But I actually like that one.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is a big pile of crap.
Good day to Die Hard.
Yeah, this is a giant pile of shit. Jai Courtney, however you want to pronounce the name, is terrible in this movie.
It had a good premise, a good idea, but the actual follow through, not so much.
Yeah. Double pack of Mercury Rising and the Jackal. The Jackal actually, Bruce Willis plays a bad guy. Okay, next we have sorry about that, folks. We had a camera issue again. This is a Charles Bronson triple pack of Death Wish 2, 3, and 4. I just need to get 1 because I don't even want to bother with 5. Moving on, we have Colombiana, starring Zoe Saldana, being a badass when she's not painted green or blue. This was a pretty good action movie. So, it's a revenge film, technically. Or not, actually not technically, that's exactly what it is. So
I like the way she blended into the different characters and stuff.
Yeah,
the drunk girl in the prison.
Yep. The Warriors from the 80s. This is a one-night fight for survival movie for a street gang. It's good. If you haven't had a chance, check it out. There was even a video game based on that movie 10 years ago now. This is a John Woo movie called Paycheck, and it's a very science fiction I don't want to say time travel movie. It's more like seeing into the future. It's good though. I really enjoyed it. It was a little weird, but the way they played up all the clues, it was I enjoyed it. That's all I can say.
I had a lot of fun with it.
Mm-hmm.
You got Broken Arrow.
I like this movie a lot. This is also a John Woo movie, and not Nicolas Cage, but John Travolta is a true badass in this movie. Christian Slater plays, the decent, reluctant hero. Very good, and it's definitely a John Woo movie. And Howie Long, the former football player, is in this movie as the bad guy sidekick, and he's really good in it.
And the girl in the movie is the girl from Pump Up the Volume, who also played with Christian Slater.
Which I can't remember her name.
I don't know her name.
Moving on.
We got Smokin' Aces.
Lots of big names, but a very kind of an odd movie. Smoking Aces 2 is basically the same way, sort of. I enjoyed the first one much, much better than this one, though.
3 Days to Kill?
Yep.
I haven't watched it yet.
I did. It was entertaining. Kevin Costner is a dying former CIA assassin, and is promised possibly a cure if he goes back to work for 3 days. And the daughter in this is Haley Stanfield, who is from the movie True Grit.
And we have Shooter.
Mark Wahlberg. Decent movie. Again,
Really liked it.
I did too. They're making a TV show about it now. So, what?
I was just wondering, don't we have Shoot 'em Up?
Yeah, somewhere around here. Did we not pass it?
I don't remember it.
Oh.
Oh well.
Bounty Killers. Obviously, it's still wrapped up, so we haven't watched it yet. Gamer. This was a hard movie to watch, just with all the quick cuts and edits, and yeah, it was annoying as hell.
I like the idea, though, that eventually the world is going to have people who play the parts of video games just for money.
The fact that they're prisoners.
The Sims in life.
Yeah, Sims in real life.
Second Life game. It all reminds me of that.
This is Olympus Has Fallen.
This is the one with Gerard Butler.
Yeah, Gerard Butler is a badass in this movie. The scene where he's questioning two of the guys, and he stabs one in the knee, and then he just to get their attention, and then kills one just to make sure that the other one knows that he is serious. Yeah.
Yeah, and then this was the other one. Both of these were done like practically at the same time.
Yeah. This one is definitely more comedy. I thought Channing Tatum and Jamie Foxx did a good job. Jamie Foxx playing the president. It was good. Good enough.
Aha! This is what I was thinking of. Shoot 'em up.
Shoot 'em up. Actually, the idea from this movie came from Hard Boiled. There's a scene where the badass cop has to take care of a baby in a hospital, and the man who wrote and directed this movie decided, well, what if we take the badass guy and make him have to watch the baby the whole time? And this movie is insane, but fun. Definitely fun. Paul Giamatti is great as the bad guy.
A lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yep. Ticking clock.
Never watched it.
It's got Neil McDonough. I can't say his name.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that guy.
He's the guy who plays Damien Dark in the 4th season of Arrow currently. He's also the bad guy in the remake of Walking Tall with The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And the classic Boondock Saints. This movie is great from beginning to end. Too bad the director is a complete douchebag.
Mm.
And there's actually documentaries about how much of a douchebag he really is. So.
Hot Irish Catholic boys.
Moving on.
Then we got the second one.
Which is a complete pile of crap. This movie's good.
This guy. I don't know his real name. But his face looks so different between the first movie and the second movie.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what happened. But this movie is good for all the wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
You might have seen one up close. John Carpenter classic, They Live, with Roddy Piper, who recently passed away. This movie is notable for the fight scene between Roddy Piper and Keith David. I think it's like 12 minutes or something. Yeah. It's John Carpenter at his peak.
And then the last movie for this shelf?
Triple X.
Triple X.
Mm-hmm. This is Vin Diesel just when he was starting to become a big name. It's a good movie. There's a thing in this movie that shows how much of a nerd he is. If you look at his tattoos, he's got a name tattooed to his stomach. That's his D&D character's name. And if you're a fan of Italian cinema, you know who Dario Argento is. That is his daughter on the cover there. If somebody get their thumb out of the way.
Sorry.
Asia Argento. And she's also on George Romero's Land of the Dead. And she's in a bunch of other movies too. So that is shelf 15. And we'll be back shortly with shelf 16. Bye.